Brijesh, help the viewers understand the significance of the timing of such an announcement coming right after Operation Sindoor and amidst the slew of these top-level DGMO level press conferences for the media.
Well, Kabir, there are two things. First, ever since this conflict broke out, before that, we heard Prime Minister addressing a rally in Bihar saying that we will teach these terrorists a lesson they are not going to forgive in their lifetime. I think what is happening is that, once the hostility began from both sides, from Pakistan's side and India retaliated to it, there has been no address by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So I think today he will address the entire concerns, the concern of the country, concern of citizens, and also concerns of, people who would want to know straight from the Prime Minister about how this entire thing panned out. There are also, the second thing is that there are doubts about, certain doubts about how this entire ceasefire was arrived at. India has refused to call it a ceasefire, though Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, as well as Secretary of State Mark Rubio has said that they are the one who have brokered the ceasefire. India has steadfastly maintained that this is merely cessation of hostility. It is not a ceasefire. They even went on to say that this is basically, the Operation Sindoor is still on and it is not over, and they have given army, the commanders who are manning the front an absolute free hand to take out a reply to Pakistan in kind and content. You remember the famous, the dialogue which has been doing since yesterday, which is Goli ka jawab gola se. So one thing is very clear that the Prime Minister would also want to explain about, certain things which the opposition parties are also pressing in. They are calling for a special session of Parliament. They are also calling, they are saying that, why exactly India agreed to indulge into this ceasefire or cessation of hostility when Indian military was clearly had an upper edge. So all of those questions, the Prime Minister is going to address the country to the best of our understanding as we speak at around 8 p.m. today, and this is something which everyone will look forward to understand how it panned out. We heard the military side since yesterday about how the Indian Army, Indian Air Force and Naval ensured that that the air bases of Pakistan was dealt a body blow, and this forced Pakistan to look for truce. The Prime Minister is most likely to explain the political side of this entire Operation Sindoor. Kabir?
Political side of Operation Sindoor, Brijesh, but it seems to be another smart move by the Prime Minister because, like you rightly pointed out, the opposition asking for Prime Minister's, attendance at one of those, special sessions to be convened, and that the Prime Minister was absent from the previous all-party meet as well. I think in one stroke, he's going to be able to talk to the entire nation and, of course, quell all those opposition queries of Prime Minister's so-called quote-unquote absence.
Well, I think the Prime Minister isn't worried about the absent part of the all-party meet. But one thing he knows that that there's not there is a degree of chatter about the sudden announcement of ceasefire, how America ceasefire did America broker this ceasefire, why India allowed this and went for cessation of hostility. There are questions which are doing the round, and Prime Minister knows, being the astute politician he is, he understands that the entire narration needs the clarity, beyond a shadow of doubt. Otherwise, the opposition, he feels that opposition parties might be able to, spread a narrative which can be inimical to BJP's interest. I think the main motive of this particular press, this address to nation would be to bring the country up to date about what has been done, and I think it will be more about revealing the political resolve behind carrying out an exercise of this enormity. Kabir?
Brijesh, an obiter dicta on this very conversation as well. I know that it is sensitive, but we will have to wait for the Prime Minister's address at 8 p.m. But needless to say, the political, mills have sort of started churning out Operation Sindoor as well. Sambit Patra, conducted a press conference. Jairam Ramesh has been, speaking against the dispensation for the last 2 days now. So needless to say, now that the Operation Sindoor dust has settled, needless to say, it is still ongoing, clearly mentioned by our armed forces as well. But now the political churning has also begun, in hindsight and in behind the doors and behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is the reason why, we heard that BJP has done a big meeting as far as Operation Sindoor is concerned. And I think most of these office bearers have been given this task of making sure that the real message of Operation Sindoor, the valor of the armed forces, the decisiveness, the political decisiveness, exhibited by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, all of this should reach the common man on the ground. And this is the reason why, the BJP is going to start a slew of press conferences to bolster home or drive home the point that, that it was a strong, decisive leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi coupled up with, the capabilities of our tri-services, which ensured that it inflicted big damage to Pakistan's air capability. The party also understands that the way Congress is targeting the BJP and the way there's a talk about, the suddenness with which this cessation of hostility was announced. They know that they cannot allow any kind of narrative to gain ground which goes against the interest of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So it's going to be a twin-pronged approach. First, the Prime Minister addressing the nation, and also the BJP planning to do press conferences, reaching out, telling their voters and everybody about the exact reason why this cessation of hostility was announced. Kabir?
Yep, and why not? I mean, the Bharatiya Janata Party, being a political party, will try to buttress that point as well. The sophistication with which the entire operation was carried out in POK, in Pakistan, our retaliation to their escalation, the way with which it has happened, and how India's entire resolve, be it our aerial defense systems, be it the air raid sirens, the mock drills, the entire, sophistication of it all. And finally, it is going to be converted and transformed into political dividends. I mean, who's to say? It's a political party. They do what they have to.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, people should be smart enough to understand or make, the distinction between the government and the political party. The government is, what the government has taken a decision, but they are also alert to the possibility, there's election, state assembly election in Bihar in 4-5 months from now. And no party would want to, no party who's forming, who's the government, who's the government at the center would want any kind of narrative which is counter to the assertion which has been made by their top brass gain ground. And that is the reason why they would want to set the record straight. I think Prime Minister would not only focus on the political side, but he would also talk about the valor of the armed forces. He would also talk about, how this entire operation was planned, why it was codenamed Operation Sindoor, how this was seen as an attempt to take revenge against all those women, who lost their loved ones, as also their husbands in this dastardly attack in Pahalgam. So I think, a lot of personal, a lot of, I would say, providing balm to those who have suffered heavy personal losses in this, very cowardly terror attack at Pahalgam. Kabir?
All right. Brijesh Pandey bringing us the latest developments. Brijesh, it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of implications will this now have on the upcoming elections, but all eyes now on the 8 p.m. national address by the Prime Minister right after Operation Sindoor and after the DGMO level press conference as well. Many thanks, Brijesh, for joining us here on the broadcast. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's national address to his countrymen at 8 p.m. today. Watch on News9 to bring you all the latest details. In the meantime, India has, of course, once again exposed the unholy alliance of the Pakistani army and the terrorist organizations. During a media interaction just on Sunday, the DGMO shared striking details about a funeral held in Pakistan's Muridke. Visuals on your screens. The DGMO said that India has identified Pakistan army officers who participated in the funeral of Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists who were killed in Operation Sindoor. Few officers close to Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir attended the funeral of these terrorists. Some of the names of key Pakistani military and other leaders who were in attendance include Lieutenant General Fayaz Hussain Shah, Corps Commander of the 4th Corps in Lahore, Major General Rao Imran Sartaj, GOC 11 Infantry Division, Brigadier Muhammad Furqan Shabbir, Commander 15 Hybrid Mechanized Brigade, Dr. Usman Anwar, Inspector General of the Police of Punjab in Pakistan, Malik Shoaib Ahmad, Member of the Provincial Assembly in Punjab. And videos from the funeral showed Lashkar-e-Toiba Commander Abdul Rauf, a specially designated global terrorist by the US Treasury, leading prayers for the deceased, draped in the Pakistani national flag, whilst flanked by military officers on both sides. India has said that the evidence will be provided to international community to prove the unholy nexus which India has long been talking about.
आप ये तस्वीर देखिए, यह तस्वीर कोई साधारण तस्वीर नहीं है। यह तस्वीर है उन आतंकवादियों का जिनका जनाजा निकला। और इस तस्वीर में मैं दिखाना चाहूंगा कि ये जो खड़ा है सामने व्यक्ति, इस व्यक्ति का नाम है, ये एलईटी का कमांडर है, लश्कर-ए तैयबा का कमांडर है अब्दुल रऊफ। अब्दुल रऊफ जो खुद एक स्पेशली डेजिग्नेटेड ग्लोबल टेररिस्ट, जिसको यूएस के ट्रेजरी बेंच ने डेजिग्नेट कर रखा है, अमेरिका के ट्रेजरी बेंच ने इसे आतंकवादी घोषित कर रखा है, वह सामने खड़ा है जनाजे में। और उसके पीछे जो खड़े हैं, मैं एक एक करके नाम पढ़ता हूं। लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल फैयाज हुसैन शाह, जो कि लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल है पाकिस्तान आर्मी के। मेजर जनरल राव इमरान सरताज, जो कि मेजर जनरल है पाकिस्तान आर्मी के। ब्रिगेडियर मोहम्मद फुरकान शब्बीर, पाकिस्तान आर्मी के। डॉक्टर उस्मान अनवर, आईजीपी पंजाब। और मलिक सोहेब अहमद बर्थ, मेंबर ऑफ प्रोविंशियल असेंबली ऑफ पंजाब। ये बड़े बड़े लोग, तथाकथित सरकार के बड़े बड़े लोग, पाकिस्तान के आतंकवादियों के जनाजा में शामिल होने आए हैं। और जनाजे को लीड कर रहा है एक आतंकवादी, डेजिग्नेटेड आतंकवादी।
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address to the nation at 8 p.m. today, ladies and gentlemen, all eyes on what the Prime Minister will have to say, of course, on the backdrop of Operation Sindoor and India's strong resolve against fighting global terrorism. Prime Minister Modi to address India at 8 p.m. today. Meanwhile, in the aftermath of the India-Pakistan tensions and the ceasefire that we have sort of arrived at, Indian aviation and Indian carriers are back in the skies. Just hours after the ceasefire understanding was reached between Pakistan and India, the Indian government announced the reopening of 32 airports that had been shut down amid escalating hostilities. For all of you out there, can check for your local and nearby airport, whether it's functioning or not. All the 32 airports, especially in the border areas that were shut down, those notums have, of course, been rescinded. The temporary closures had been in place since India's precision strikes deep inside Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, with concerns over drones and missile threats prompting the move. The Airports Authority of India